Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass. Now Google has been quietly updating some of their applications with some material design elements. It started with Google Plus and has now been incorporated into the Chrome beta. But now they've updated one of their lesser known applications, which is News and Weather, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So what is News and Weather? Well, it's an application that's been on a lot of Nexus devices and Android devices for quite some time now, and it's basically a way of congregating all of the news and weather information from around and near your area, or just in general things that you're interested in. And now Google has updated this, so that's what we're going to be taking a quick look at today. So first off, when you launch the application, you're going to be greeted with basically what is your home page. And on here, you're going to have the weather and all of the stories that you'd like to follow or any of the information that you want to get to know. You've also got the side pull-out bar, which has got some information regarding yourself, and then also the categories of what you want to follow and also your location. Now starting off in the settings, you can see there's not really a lot in terms of the actual settings for the application. You do have a refresh, which is basically just going to refresh the news stories or the weather within your area. You've got change editions, which is basically just to change the area in the world of where you are, just to get the correct news and weather sources. Below that, you then have manage selections, and there's a couple of different ways to get into this part of the menu. So you can do it from the settings up here. If you click on this plus menu, you can also add a topic, which we'll have a look at in just a second. And then also in this side pull-out bar, you've got down the bottom, it says add and remove sections. So as you can see here that I'm following news for the UK, technology, health, spotlight, entertainment, and also sports. But if you go on to add and remove selections, you can see that there are a couple more. So you've got here world news, business, and also science. And to get into these or to unsubscribe to these, all you need to do is just do the plus or the minus. So myself, I'm not necessarily a huge sports fan, so I can just click on minus and get rid of that out of there. And for me, my entertainment news is slightly more important than say my health news. So again, you can see these three lines over here. All you do is just tap and hold and you can move it up to where you need to. That way, when you go back to your home screen, once you go down, you can see I've got UK, technology, and then I've got the entertainment just above health, which is what I've just changed. There's also a drop down just here on the weather, which is basically just going to give you some more information. So you can see here that you've got the temperature and also the precipitation. You can select different days to get the different information that you require. You can also click on edit, and what this is going to allow you to do is either hide the weather, auto detect the location, or use another location. In terms of the top widget, which is the weather, there is a drop down which is going to allow you to change things like Fahrenheit and Celsius. You can also see the temperature and the precipitation for each day. So obviously there's a lot of information on here that you can see. You can also edit to go onto hiding your weather, auto detect your location, or use another location altogether. And you can have multiple locations on your home screen to actually see. Now on the plus icon, you can see there's add location, which is in the same menu as the weather, and there is also add topic. Now in here, it's basically going to allow you to select or Google search anything that you want to be updated on in terms of news. So for me, obviously being a YouTuber, I want to keep up to date with all the iPhone 6 news. So again, all I'd have to do is type in iPhone 6, and you can see here that it actually auto-populates what it thinks you're going to type. And then you can name the topic. So again, in my case, I'm just going to name this iPhone. Then when you click OK, it's then going to add that topic to the actual list. Now in some cases, I have noticed that the adding topics can sometimes slow down a little bit and doesn't always load 100%. But when it does, you can see here that it's now been added onto my list. Now when you are on the home page or the start page as it is, you can also swipe between to get to the different sections. So again, I've got UK news, technology, entertainment, and then if I go right to the end, you can see here I've got the iPhone one which I've just added. So basically any news stories that come up from, for instance, Sky News, TechCrunch, Apple Insider regarding the iPhone 6 is then going to show in this section here. As with the old application, you also have some widgets that you can put on your home screen. Now there are 4 in total, which I'm going to be showing you just real quick. The first one is going to be a condensed version of both the news and the weather. So you can see here it just gives me the weather on this side and also a bit of information regarding the news. And you can also then tap to switch between the actual stories. The next one down is going to be weather alone. And again, it gives you a 4-day forecast. So again, I've got Wednesday to Saturday here. You can see the high and low temperature and also a graphic to show just what the weather is going to be like. And the last one here is just going to be news only, and again you can go through the news stories by tapping on it, and you can also click on any of these widgets to be taken directly to the news story, or in the weather case you can also just click onto the weather icon, which will then take you into here, so again you can get a more in-depth look. Now the last widget you have is basically the whole application in one widget. So again, you've got the weather at the top here, and then you've got these stories down the bottom. Again, you can click on any of these stories, and if you go down to where it says more news stories, again, it's going to take you into the application. Now, who is this application for? Now the reason why I asked that is Google has implemented a lot of these features into some other applications. So if you go into, for instance, Google Now on a Nexus device or an Android device that runs Google, you can see here that I've got the weather, and again it gives me the exact same information here for the highs and lows with a graphic as well, and also gives me the option to give some other information regarding weather updates for my location or another location. And you've also got a completely separate application, which is Plain Newsstand. And again, in here, as the name suggests, you can get news, magazines, and topics. So in here, it's more precise in terms of instead of just selecting technology alone, you can select a specific news source and then click into it to view the stories. And there is also option to view video as well. So I'm not necessarily sure who the application itself is made for in terms of the news and weather app. It is nice that it's on there, and I do appreciate the widgets. The weather one particularly I do like, and it does look quite nice on a home page, but just in general I'm not 100% sure why Google is putting in so much time and effort with updating or changing some applications, and especially with news and weather, which is quite an old app and has looked the same for a very long period of time, why they've put so much time into changing it and updating it with this new material design when they could have maybe just done an upgrade to Plain Newsstand, or change the name, or incorporated the news topics into Google Now, which you can also do if you search things on Google quite a lot. They will then come up in your Google Now. So again, that's another way to access that information. Either way though guys, it is quite a nice application. It does run well, and it is completely free of charge to get all the information that you need. I'm going to put a link down in the description to the APK, as it is updating solely on devices. So if you do want to get the newest version now, I will have that link down in the description below. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass with a quick look at Google News and Weather, and I will catch you guys in the next video.